Coach John here. In this video, I'm going to go over several exercises that you can do with sliders or gliders. You can buy a set of these on Amazon for about $15, or you could go to a dollar store and purchase a set of Frisbees, which would work well on carpet. What we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple of upper body exercises and a couple of lower body exercises. Now, this first exercise is quite challenging, so you should be very good at doing push-ups before you attempt this. Essentially what we're going to do, with one arm we're going to do a press, and with the other arm we're going to do a fly, or essentially a fly type movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position my right hand with my fingers pointing forwards. My left hand, my fingers are going to be outwards because that one's going to be doing the fly. So I'm going to have my elbow slightly bent. So I'm going to get up in my push-up position. I'm going to go get myself in position here. I'm going to go down. And then I'm going to pull in with my left hand and press up with my right. Nice and slow. Nice and controlled. This makes the push-up much harder on the right side because the left side isn't assisting as much. So it's a good push-up variation if you're getting bored of your regular push-up. Another exercise we can do is shoulder extension. Essentially like an ab wheel rollout, but instead we're going to use the sliders. So I'm going to get my hips in the right position. Essentially from your knees to your shoulders, you want to have a straight line as though you're standing tall. And then from here, I'm going to allow myself to slide forward at my shoulders, and then engaging my lats, I'm going to pull myself up. Nice and slow. I'm also training the core, obviously, because this is essentially a front plank position. So I'm training my lats, my core, and the lower part of your pectoralis major also assists in shoulder extension. So that covers two upper body exercises, essentially more of a chest dominant exercise, and then with the pulling down this way, more of a back focused exercise. Okay, so now that we've finished with the upper body exercises, we're going to move on to some exercises that combine both core and lower body. The first one is going to be a front plank with hip abduction and hip adduction. So what that looks like is this. I'm going to go into a front plank, get my feet on the gliders. From this front plank position, I'm going to go out and in. This is hip abduction, and hip adduction. So that's simple. A variation of this that you could do if you wanted to also incorporate a push-up is this. From the push-up position, I'm going to, as I go down, I'm going to go out. As I come up, I'm going to go in. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is called mountain climbers. We're going to go from a push-up position. And essentially, I'm going to bring one knee in to about there. Don't bring it in so far that you're rounding your back like that, okay? Essentially, you're getting a rest here anyways. So you want to make sure your core is working. So bring your hip forward, your thigh forward, so that it's about a 90-degree angle to your hip. And then I'm just going to go back and forth like that. You see how the slider slid out from under my foot? Well, that's okay. That's not going to stop us. We can keep going. So just like that. The next one we're going to do is a hamstring curl. This one is very challenging, especially to get the sliders moving. to overcome the initial force of friction. It's tough. Hips up, legs out, and I'm going to pull my heels towards me while keeping my hips up. Just like that. Out, nice and slow, nice and controlled. Pause for a second. Pull towards your bum with your heels. And back out. The last one we're going to do is a single leg squat, essentially with hip adduction. So I'm pulling in, focusing primarily on the adductors. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to sit back. As I sit back, I am going to extend my leg back, like it's kind of almost like a skating motion. And I'm going to, as I stand up, I'm going to pull in and I'm going to sit back. So I'm hinging at the hip, bending the knee, focusing on pulling in with my adductors. Make sure you keep a neutral spine, so don't round your lower back. From the side, it looks like this. And there you have it. There's several exercises you can do with the gliders. Any comments, questions, please let me know. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.